guys, welcome back to our channel.
Today we will be discussing the series Insecure and speaking about the new season but the evolution of the series and our thoughts. And we're not going to spoil it, but we'll be touching on some things, so if you kind of get a spoiler, we're sorry.
Yeah, we won't try to spoil too much. Alright, so throughout watching the show, we definitely learned a lot of life lessons, and that's kind of what we want to talk to you guys about today, because the show is definitely something that we were hooked on. We love Issa Rae. It's so realistic, and we feel like we need more shows like this.
Right. And we can really relate to everything.
Yes.
Even if we're not actually experiencing exactly what they experience, we can just relate to a lot of their situations and their lifestyle. So the way that we're going to frame this video is by going through the series and talking about the lessons we've learned. And yeah, we're going to start that off right now.
Okay, so I think that one thing that Insecure taught me was that sisterhood is very important throughout every stage in your life. But by seeing all the relationship that Issa had in her life, and like our favorite relationship, Molly and Issa, and then what's her name? Kelly and Tiffany. Their friendship group, the four of them, they're just the cutest, and I love seeing their relationships. Even through the ups and downs, they still had each other's back throughout the entire series, and it was just beautiful to see the growth in each one of them.
They all have their own different paths and stories, but they all come together in different ways, and they are really there for each other. Even though they don't go through the same things exactly, they're still there at the end of the day to support each other. And it's really beautiful to see that. Because, you know, everyone's moving on to, like, different stages in their lives, but they still maintain that friendship, and they know the importance of maintaining that, you know?
Yeah. They definitely have a solid friendship.
Yeah.
They did have some rocky parts here and there, but they realized in the end that they need each other.
Right.
And that life is going to be hard in each chapter, and your friends, like, just make everything better.
Right. They also showed us that good friends, you know, like ones that are supportive. Things about friendship is like there was times where they were going through situations and they were always there to uplift each other.
Yes.
Even if it was situations where it was like, you know, kind of like yikes, they still were there to uplift each other.
But each of them grew so much, and in the end, like the position they were in throughout all these years, well, what they've been through all these years, and like how they started off and now how they are in the end, like seasons.
Yeah.
It's like each of them really had like a cool, interesting story about growth.
Right.
And it was so great to see. It was so great to see. I was happy for them. It's like as you're watching it, like you just want them to like for everything to work out for them in the end.
Right. Characters that have failed you in the past seasons redeem themselves in this season, and it's kind of nice to see a happy ending for a story like this.
You know, their fairy tale ending isn't originally what they imagined, or even what we thought how it was gonna end, but at the I like the end. I
think it taught us, the viewers, that not everything goes as planned.
Not everything goes as planned, yes.
Sometimes the road gets a little rocky, and sometimes you gotta, you know, take yourself out of a situation. And if it's meant to be, it will happen.
It could still be a great ending. It could still be a great story at the end. So what Insecure taught me was that you will not always know what you're doing and where you're going, but you should always go towards whatever is making you feel good and be patient with the path it may create.
One thing that Issa and other people on the cast have shown me throughout all the seasons is that consistency is key. With going towards what your, you know, the fear or whatever you want, they were consistent, and their outcomes became like, you know, an example of how consistency is key.
Yeah.
You know?
And just seeing Issa's journey too, like where she started off when she was first working at that nonprofit.
Oh, yeah.
Like each part of her journey was necessary, but there were times where she was like low, you know, and it was so great seeing her finally get to a point where she's doing something that's bringing her happiness, and she's able to live a stable life and everything seems to start coming together.
Right. And she really followed her dreams.
Yeah,
throughout the series.
But it taught me that it takes time, and sometimes it could take years too.
You have to tell yourself like it's all part of the process. Like there's a bigger journey that lies ahead, you know? Like all the work that you're putting in right now is going to pay off. If you have that mentality, this show has taught us that it will pay off.
And it's okay to press the restart button and like start over.
Right.
Seeing Issa, even if you're scared, you know, if you're able to wake up the next day, then you're able to restart. And sometimes if you really want something really badly, you gotta go towards it. You gotta do it when you're scared, when you're broke, you're tired. At the end of the day, you gotta keep working towards it. It may take a long time, but each day is getting you closer to that time where it will be there.
Right.
And that's what happened with Issa, you know?
Man.
Like, now she's, like, really bossed up. Like, no more getting abused by those children.
Right.
Like, now she's being able to host, like, events and, like, support her community and just, like, really make an impact, like, on her community.
And it was all the no's and all of the no's and all of the no's that got her to be like, no, someone's gonna say yes.
Exactly.
Other characters in the show as well, someone's gonna say yes.
Exactly. She had to trust herself. Like, she had the creativity, she had the push, she had all that. No way. And she worked hard. And I feel like she says that, like, Issa on the show is, like, based off her. And, like, I could see it because how Issa started off by making videos on YouTube, where she is now, like, she literally, like, step by step, like, made her own path, kept working consistently on it, and now look at her. Her success is amazing. And who knows what's gonna come after Insecure, but I'm excited.
I know a lot of people at the end of the series were kind of down, like, this is it. But the thing is that
us too, a bit.
We were, but the thing is that she's gonna be coming up with so much more, and we're really gonna see more improvement, I feel like, you know? With now all the support that she's gaining, we're gonna see more improvement. This show really shows you that you shouldn't settle, and you can see it with Issa and even Molly. You know, I feel like a lot of us were just like, Molly, like, you're doing the most, but the thing is that
she knew her worth.
You know,
she knew her worth,
and her consistency and not settling for nothing less than what she deserves. Because the thing is that I feel like with Black women, they want you to. They're just like, you're lucky to get this, you know what I mean? You should be, like, happy that you got this. But she knew her worth, you know? Not saying that any of those guys were not good.
Because she did have some faults.
But they weren't good enough for her.
Yeah.
And she knows.
Yeah. There were times, though, where she would have situations inside the, like, with guys, and she wouldn't handle it well.
She wouldn't handle them well, but it's because she knew deep down. Because the thing is, I don't want to spoil it. This is hard. But the thing is that her sticking to what she wants and what she knows that she's capable of having, I don't want to spoil it, but got her to her goal.
One of our favorite relationships on Insecure is Issa and Lawrence. And I think one thing I, like, realized when I was, like, seeing everything was that you shouldn't get too comfortable in a relationship.
Right.
I think that's where it went wrong. And then also, you should also communicate when your needs aren't met.
Right.
I think those were the two main, like, situations at first when you get introduced to their relationship, is that Lawrence got too comfortable in the relationship, and then Issa didn't communicate her needs.
Exactly.
And then it kind of, in the end, we were still rooting for them to be together, but, like, so much had happened between them that it was just, like, the relationship can never be the same no more.
It was very screwed up.
You know?
And it's because there was lack of communication.
Yes.
But you see the different point of views, and your thoughts change throughout the seasons on the two of them and the way they evolve. So look forward to seeing that in season 5, if you haven't watched it yet. Throughout the series of Insecure, you really see Issa's character development with her speaking to herself in the mirror. Basically, she's always looking within herself to kind of understand her life and her situation, and she'll sometimes reflect to the past her and to future her.
That's my favorite part.
I love when they did that.
Yeah, when she was talking to her younger self.
It kind of depicts what we do in real life, but it actually shows it, like a physical showing of what we all do, because we all do this. Yeah. We all sometimes talk to ourselves, you know? But
it'll make you crazy. You're just intuitive.
Exactly, right. And you're just trying to reassure yourself, and that's okay. But for her, you see it.
Yeah,
and it's kind of cool.
Those were the best, like, moments of the show too. Those are my favorites, when she would talk to herself in the mirror and the funny rap she would do. Like, she's hilarious.
We love her. I feel like you get a comedic aspect of the show, and then you also get more of a serious type of aspect of the show, and then you get more of, like, a reality.
Yes.
You know, you really get reality in the show.
Yeah.
I know some people say you don't, but she is how does she describe
She's
herself?
such an awkward black girl.
Yeah, exactly. And she really shows a good like view of what an awkward black girl is like. Because sometimes we are awkward black girls, and we felt her.
Yeah. Also, like, depicted the story really well, like, where the setting of the show was in Inglewood. That was like a depiction of like how she grew up.
Yeah.
In LA.
Right. The thing we will say about season 5 is that it's a little sped up, but the thing is that they do touch on everyone's story, so you get somewhat of closure. There was a few things that they did miss out on, but you got a good enough like amount of closure, to be honest. Like, you didn't leave the show like
it was rushed. It was rushed.
It was very rushed. We finished the whole season in one day. So.
We finished the whole season in one night.
One night, not even a day, a night.
We finished the whole thing in one night, and it just like it jumps a lot.
Yeah.
I'm not spoiling anything, but like they jump a lot
right
in this season, so
it felt kind of like watching a movie of a book, and they couldn't really like touch on everything, but they had to jump to show the important things.
Yeah,
and the things that
so they skip a lot, so you there's sometimes that fast, but like then you really get to see like where they end up.
Yeah,
because they went years, never mind.
They did kind of go years.
They went years.
They went years.
Because we don't want to spoil it for y'all. We don't want to spoil it for y'all.
We're so sorry. Yeah, they jumped, and even to and then like
you are not whispering to me right now.
But you know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was a big. That was the future.
Yeah.
That was really nice to see.
Yeah.
Because you were able to see a healthy dynamic at the ending with all of the characters.
Yeah.
And that was really nice to leave off on a good note like that.
Yeah.
That made us happy. I feel like that's what made it okay that they fast forwarded so much and that they skipped ahead, because you still
saw the good parts.
The good parts.
You saw the good parts of like what was to come for them.
Right.
So another thing we learned was that exes can be convenient when you're in a bad spot in a relationship, but bringing up old situations from your past may be a decision that continues to hurt you. And we saw that with Issa when they got introduced Daniel into the series.
Oh, one thing I will say is you see it kind of in the first season, a situation like this, and then the next season you also like, not the next season but the 5th season, the last final season, it's like a Daniel situation kind of all over again.
Yeah, with who? Oh
yeah that was kind of like, and it's like the thing is that Issa was, they kept just, I can say this, they kept describing her as all over the place. But one thing this show has taught me, and I'm kind of picking up on some things within my own life right now after watching it, is that if there's something in the back of your head and it's like nagging you and it just won't go away, it's telling you something. You need to listen to that, because I feel like she wasted so much time. Yeah. Because she was fighting that voice so hard, and
she also ran to her comfort zone.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of the exes that they would go back to, like, that's just going back to like your comfort zone, you know?
Yeah.
Because it's convenient, but you may regret it later.
Yeah.
Season 1, I'm not gonna say what happened in season 5, but season 1, she cheats on Lawrence, and as soon as she went back to her comfort zone or someone from her past, she regretted it right after, you know, and that ultimately kind of broke the relationship. But yeah, that just shows you that like you shouldn't go back to what's convenient or bring up old situations that you know like in the past didn't work out. Maybe you should just leave it there.
Right.
Yeah.
I think it just basically just taught us to just go after what you want.
Yeah.
Go after what you want. Like,
yeah.
Especially as we're getting older, you know, there's no more holding back. I feel like, yes, we're still young, but now I'm really realizing that like right now I can go after what I want. Yeah. And I can get the happy. I can get some of the happy. Yeah. I can.
You're young. We're just like Issa. We have time. Right. We have like, if we want to restart, we can, you know? If we want to work hard towards something and see what type of path it'll open up for us, we can.
Some closing thoughts. Issa, as someone who started off on YouTube and then evolved, and now she has her own series on HBO and has like multi-million-dollar contracts. Yeah. And it was just her making nothing out of like Just literally starting from nothing and making it into something.
It shows you that your creativity can take you very, very far.
I think everyone should, I would more so say like anyone who is a young Black individual and anyone in general, but majority towards Black individuals who are very ambitious and they're trying to get a head start on things. I think you should watch the series.
I really do think so too.
Yeah.
If you'll relate. I think you will.
It's very motivating because you see the struggle and you see the success.
Yes.
And that's one thing that we need to see is the struggle and the success. And that's what you see in this series.
Yeah.
Something that's not stressed in the society in this day and age. It's not stressed enough. But she stresses it to a way that it's comfortable to watch and you laugh, you cry, and it's so nice.
It is. And like my favorite thing about, like, I need more shows like this. I need shows that like depict like something that like I am going through or will be going through.
The only times we're seeing shows like this is like, aside from Girlfriends, that was a really good show. But
ooh, I love that show.
But this was more realistic. I mean, that was a really realistic show, but this is realistic in our day and age. And we usually just see like TV shows or movies about high school students, grown people playing high school students, but this is grown people playing grown people.
It's refreshing to see a series like this. Like I need something like that. Like I need more of this. I hope she comes harder with stuff like this. So
we're watching. That was our review on, not really a review, but kind of a review on the series of Insecure. And
I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope that if you watch the series, let us know if you learned any life lessons from the show. And if you haven't, go watch it.